Hi, I'm Steve at John Street Beverage, and I'm here today to give you a short tutorial on how to set up and calibrate an on-demand grinder. Here we go. Each morning you will need to calibrate your coffee grinder to get the perfect serve. The most important thing first of all is obviously to turn the unit on, then fill the hopper with fresh coffee, and then we need to make sure that we have a measuring tray, a set of scales, and also a phone with a timer. First thing to do is pick up the measuring tray, place it on the scales, press the T button to 0, and then we're going to place the measuring tray just underneath the grinder. With your thumb, press the button that's there to operate. Make sure that we then press button 2, because we're always going to try the double dose when calibrating, and then press the button to get the desired amount. From there, just lightly cover to make sure that you get an accurate reading and place it on the tray. And you can see that at the moment the grinder is dosing 18.8 grams. The perfect dose for most coffee is between 16 and 17 grams. If there is too much coffee in the measuring tray, then simply use your fingers and pinch a small amount out each time to make sure that we can get to 17 grams, which is perfect for the coffee that we're using today. If you find that the levels are too low, then you can simply move the tray just below the outlet on the grinder and just press the grind button, and a small amount will come out to make sure then you can place it back onto the tray, and again we can get to the desired level that way. When we have the correct amount, we're then going to transfer the coffee to a warm group handle. Always make sure that you have already put some warm water running through it to make sure that we're then going to get an accurate measure on extraction. So simply pinch it and just funnel the coffee into the group, making sure that you get every amount through. And we're then going to level, move the group handle over. You should have a corner mat, making sure that it's positioned like so. Position your tamper, nice firm tamp, and then position that back onto the grinder. And then we're going to bless it and then put it onto the coffee machine, making sure that you flush the group head before you put the unit on. And then we're then going to lock the unit onto the machine, get our 2 espresso cups, and then we're going to time the shot. So press the double espresso button, and at the same time press the start button on your timer. And now we're going to time the shot to see whether the grind is correct. We are looking for an extraction time of between 22 and 28 seconds, which is perfect, but it must be between 20 and 30 to be able to serve to the customer. So as you can see, we've got an extraction time of 37 seconds. So the coffee has a very good crema, but it is slightly burning the coffee as it's over extracting, which is going to be bitter and burnt in flavour. If it's below 20 seconds, you will find that it's under extracted and it's going to be weak and watery. So between 20 and 30 seconds, at this point you are good to start serving coffee. If it is over 30 or under 20, we now need to go back to the grinder to change the calibration. So make a note of where we're starting. So follow the arrow up, so it's now sitting at number 9. We're going to make it coarser because we want the grind to be faster. So we're going to move it, increasing it in numbers, but following the arrow, moving it clockwise. Each one of these notches can make a difference of 4 to 5 seconds. So please make sure that you only make small movements at a time. And once you've made that change, then lock the locking nut up again. And now we're going to grind off 2 double shots, and we're going to chuck those away. And then the third shot is our true shot, the one that we're going to try on the machine and make sure that we now have the correct extraction time. So I've just pulled off 2 shots of coffee. Before I do the third shot, make sure that the tray is back onto the scales. We zero them to make sure it's correct, and then we move back onto the grinder as we did before, and just draw off the third shot. We're then going to, again, level that out, position that onto the scales, making sure that, again, that we're delivering around 17 grams. If it's a little bit low, if you remember what we've said, go back to the unit, press the grind button, very small amount. And now just need to pinch a little bit of coffee out to get to that 17 or close to the 17 grams that I'm looking for. So I've now got the third shot of coffee. I've tamped it, it's ready to use. Make sure your timer is on. Locate the unit. Make sure that you have your cups. Double espresso button and the start. And now we're testing it again to see whether the change that I've made on the grinder is going to deliver that perfect shot. Always look at the extraction as well, because it's a really good indicator whether you're going to deliver a really good coffee. A nice steady flow, nice caramel colour is a good indication. And there you go. Now we have the correct grind of the coffee, we now need to check the dosage, as if you make the coffee coarser, it will dose more coffee than before, and if you make the grind finer, it will dose less coffee than before. To easily do this, there is a shortcut to avoid having to go into the program. So press the number 2, which is the double that we're going to change, and then menu very quickly so it starts flashing. When it is flashing, you can see there's a plus and a minus. So it's dosing too much, so we're going to reduce that down. So just press down in increments of 1/100th of a second. So we're going to drop it down to 7.4 from 7.6, and then press menu, which is like an enter key, and that sets it. That will reduce the amount of coffee coming through by 0.5 gram. So once you've set that, go back onto the unit, press your double shot as before, move that onto the scales, recheck it, and when you're happy that it's now 17 grams of coffee, then you are good to go. Okay, so just as a quick recap, when your coffee is coming through too quickly, we're going to move the grinder to make it finer. So we're going to move it to the right. And if it's coming through too slowly, we're going to move it to the left. And that will speed up the flow. I hope you find that really useful and you can deliver some fantastic John Street Beverage coffee to all of your customers. If you do need some help, please give us a call on 01322 381 380 and one of our team can also help you. Bye for now.